What's up, everybody? It's your girl Q1, and I am back with Heart and Hustle Houston. Season 2. We are back with season 2, episode 1, Friends and Frenemies. Before I start, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell button so you can be updated on every video. Make sure y'all like the videos so I can stay in the algorithm, okay? Oh my god, we've been waiting 2 years for this? A lot has changed. I follow the ladies on social media. A lot has changed with the ladies, okay? But we find out that all hell has broken loose with the ladies. Well, yeah, it's been a doozy. It looks like this season gonna be good though. So we'll see. We'll see. So apparently when the cameras went down and we find out that the ladies, we don't know. Well, apparently the cameras went down and the energy of the ladies has shifted. Friendships are now in disarray, and they end up having a group therapy session, and then we found out that all hell had broke loose. So Labrina cussed everybody in the group out. She said fuck y'all, and she walked out, and they haven't seen nor have they heard from Labrina. So we find out that Latoria is still in the world of PR. She said her clients her clients wouldn't allow her to leave. And she's now having her second annual silver dress and red lip event. And she invited all of the ladies, but the only ladies that showed up was Chloe and Ro. And they both look really, really good. Chloe arrived. I love that red lip on Chloe. She still has her short hair. And then we see Ro. She has absolutely cut her hair. She's blonde now. And she got a nip and tuck, and I think she got fillers. I want to say Ro got fillers, but she do look good, okay? She thick in all the right places. Shout out to y'all. So anyway, we found out that Elena, she couldn't make it because she was in Colorado, and we've seen her travel all over because she's been doing everybody's makeup. Manera and Labrina didn't show up. I don't even think they text or anything. They just didn't show up. So, according to Chloe, they was having a conversation about the ladies when they were all at the vineyard, and so we get a flashback with Chloe said that Labrina said Chloe steals clothes and she wear the tags on them. Well, we get a flashback to Labrina telling Chloe the same exact thing at the vineyard. And I want to say that was the last episode. I don't remember her saying all that, and maybe that was scenes that we didn't see, but we did get a flashback. It was on camera. So then they said Labrina said that the ladies wasn't on her level, and then we get a flashback of Elena asking Labrina, so you said you wasn't on our level, and Labrina cleared it up, and she was like, listen, I didn't mean like that. I didn't mean it from a financial or I think I'm better than you standpoint. I really just meant from a peaceful standpoint. So she cleared it up. So, allegedly, Labrina called one of the women at Latoria event that she honored. She called one of the women Precious. Y'all know from the movie, she called the lady Precious. And so Latoria felt the way. So I don't know. I don't know. So anyway, Chloe said in her confessional that there is a division in the group, and she said it's her, Latoria, and Ro, and it's Labrina and Munera, and Elena is somewhere in the woods. Child, Elena is in her own world, okay? So Chloe tells the ladies that Jordan has cheated on her. She got a DM from somebody, and it happened sometime in the beginning of January, but she said that she's over it because they're not together. She was just too calm for me because Jordan should have been gone. Jordan is for a good time and not a long time, but it is what it is. She said it's fine they're not in a relationship. So in the next scene, we see Munera and Labrina. She says she has a busy life, with content and everything. Everything has sped up and picked up. Labrina, we found out, has expanded Escape Spa, and they are now building a Pilates and juice bar, which is coming soon. They just bought land, and they're creating a horse safe haven. Hold on. So y'all, per Labrina, they both have not talked to the other ladies, both Labrina and Munera. But Labrina said things have gotten so bad. She thought that everybody could all come together for group events, and then she said all of a sudden the energy got weird. She said she don't understand how, because she said she don't understand how she became the target and the villain. And so Labrina is annoyed because Chloe and Latoria brought up what was already discussed at the vineyard. She believed that they had discussions, outside of the ladies. And so Munera said that she's disappointed in both ladies. And she said that she was actually thrown in the mix as well. And I'm assuming this is part of the reason why Munera backed up from the ladies as well and just kind of, sided with Labrina. So fine, we still need to figure out, because if that's the reason, and she's already explained it, it's like, I don't know, y'all gotta be. It feels like it's grasping for straws, but okay. So then, in the next scene, we get Ro, Chloe, Latoria, and Elena. Elena says she's been navigating in her new chapter, so she haven't been able to hang out with the girls. She said that she's healing and she's been doing some traveling. She said that she lost herself by staying in the marriage, going to therapy, just trying to, I guess do the work. She said she stayed to the point where she got really, really sick. And I'm assuming this is the reason why she told Josh that he had to leave. Because you can't heal in a space with the person that hurt you the most. It's hard. It's really, really hard. So I do understand. So the ladies asked if she's still married to Josh. She said that they're going through the process of the divorce. She said she won't date until the divorce is final. And she said she wanted her marriage to work. And Ro was like, listen, it's over. Ro is me. Okay, but at the same time, it's going to take time. So, but I also never forget what the person has done to me. He has stole from you. He has cheated on you. And I want to say, I don't know if you said multiple times, but he has stole an obscene amount of money from you to the point where I think it affected y'all business. And I want to say, I think it was Ro that brought it up last season at the vineyard. Was like, I think I want to say, I don't want to place that on her doorstep, but somebody did remind her, hey, he did this and he did this. Somebody did say it the last season. I just don't remember who. But I get what she wanted, but at the same time, he had no regard for you and he had no regard for the kids. But I'm going to get on his ass in a minute. Anyway, Elena, for me, is like most women. The familiar of it all would have them entertaining the thought of making something work that just won't work. She's such a different person. I don't know her. We all don't know her. We only know her from TV. And I want to say this, even Ro had to have that understanding. She was like, she's healing. And I had to do the same thing. Because we remember when we first met Ro, she had to heal I think she was in a relationship with a basketball player, so she had to heal from that. And you can see there's a difference in Ro. Like, there is this glow in Ro that we see now, that we didn't see, that I'm gonna say me. Now, I didn't see before, but now I'm seeing it, and it is a naturally happy, naturally, freeing type of glow. And I love to see that on women. And you can now get to see that on Elena. She's moving and she's busy. And even though, it's hurting, she's still moving and busy in herself, and she's still working. And I will say this, when you remove yourself out of places that are not meant for you, you shine like women like Elena, and you shine like women like Ro. I mean, it's just on you. It's on them, and God will really bless you. I'm sorry, I just had to say that. Anyway, Elena said that her ultimate goal was to keep her black family together. Ro reminds her that they just talked about, how she wanted to be happy. She did realize that she had to move on, but it's clear that she's not over Josh, because when she goes out, she said to herself that she is a wife, and we find out that she has a little friend or whatever. So I don't know what's going on with that. So then they talk about co-parenting, and sometimes how hard co-parenting can be depending on the person that you're with. And they're just her and Ro, basically they're doing the best they can with what they got, with the people that they got a co-parent with. I hate that for them, because I know what that's like. Was like. Not anymore. I'm the co-parent with nobody. So anyway, Latoria, we get down to Latoria and Jordan. I'm not understanding why he called her, but he called her 6 a.m. and wanted to meet up with her because Jordan wanted to propose to Chloe, even though that they're not talking. And we find out that he's never been married. He really never been in a serious relationship. He don't even have a ring, and it was like he's saving up for a ring, so he can't really afford a ring. So I feel like my next question is, are you trying to marry your way in this lady's house? And if you're trying to do that, are you trying to do that to kick her son out? Because last time we remember you wanted her to kick her son out, and he was just 19. His brain wasn't fully developed, sir. I'm just saying, I hope it ain't one of those situations. He said that it feels like, and then my other question is, are you financially secure? He said that, he should be proposing in the next 60 days. And I'm like, that's 2 months. Like, I do not understand. But okay, I feel like you're full of shit. But whatever, Jordan. Anyway, Labrina, Will, and Josh. Labrina, I'm going to say this. I don't know if you and Elena fell out, but I feel like you and your husband had Josh to come on to tell his side of the story, which there should be no side, because he cheated, he stole, and that should have been that. You are very male identified. I've seen that last season. I feel like this was very fucked up. And Josh, I'm going to say this. You a whole bitch ass nigga. You expect this woman to have all this expectation that you have, and you may not have stated your expectation. You did not. I'm gonna say that you did not. But the way you showed up, you almost showed up like you were the victim. You were the victim. And if it wasn't for you, she wouldn't have her company. You were the savior and you tried to make yourself the victim. Anyway, let me just read on through it. So Will invited Josh to check in on him. And if Will invited Josh, why were you doing most of the talking, Labrina? Anyway, she said that Will and Josh have made their own type of connection. We found out that Labrina's son was back home because he got to see what was it like to live with his father versus what was it like to live with his mom. Josh was like, well, I never thought that I would be in that type of situation either, where my kids have to live here and they have to live here. Well, Josh, what did you think was going to happen? You thought that this lady was going to allow you to continue to live with her while you continue to run amok. Like, people get tired and all y'all want to do is constantly push folks' buttons. Pressure bust pipes. Okay? All y'all want to do is push people's buttons. And after you push the buttons and they explode, you want to wait a while, come back, and continue to push their buttons again. I don't understand that. So as he's talking, I'm looking like, Josh, how are you playing the victim when you caused all of this? Like, he tells him that he had to leave the house and he wasn't surprised, but he was surprised how it happened. Labrina feels like what Josh is going through is important and it shouldn't be disregarded because he's a man or because he's at fault. I was like, wow, really, Labrina? So Will says to Josh, if I was her husband and I took out an investment and wanted to make more than what we have now, you as my partner is supposed to be there for me, right? He was like, I want to know about that part because that part is a big deal. They asked, why did he do it? So Labrina said, I never heard Josh's side, but I know Elena's side, and we know that he lost a great deal of their money. I feel like, Labrina, this is where it should have started, and this is where it should have stopped. Wanting to know Josh's side is important. The fact that he will risk his family, because if the shoe was on the other foot, and if Will lost all of y'all money, and you had to start over to make it work, and one of the women met up with Will, you would be highly upset. Yes, you would. You would be highly upset. So anyway, Labrina said he has a different side, and she want to hear his. So Josh decided to explain the side. He said COVID shut down. It was the COVID shutdown, and he said the image was she ran the business and he was behind the scenes. She did makeup. She had to run her business. She's a MUA, sir. He really pissed me off. He was like, he said, she ran, the image was she ran the business and he was behind the scenes. He was like, I was like the sidekick or whatever. He did everything behind the scenes. He said 75% is because of me and 25% was without me. He said everything that business was involved in except putting a brush to a face, it was all on him. He said in 2020, a lot of those things was going on with the studio. Rent was backed up, and he tried to solve an issue. He overestimated his intelligence. He invested money, and he lost it, and he kept losing money, and he never told her until it was too late, which makes you an even more fucked up person. Because the first time you lost money, you should have told her, and you shouldn't have done it again. Y'all could have figured out a way. But no, you got jealous because she was the breadwinner. You wanted to prove yourself because you were insecure. You were insecure. You wanted to prove yourself. And you end up losing more money. You tried to quick rich your way out of the situation and you lost. And you put your family at risk. You put your marriage at risk, sir. Like, this is crazy to me. So Labrina asked him if he felt like he couldn't go to her. Again, this feels like coercion. So he said he felt like his feelings were never valid. Labrina said it sounds like to me there was no outlet. Once again, this is pretty fucked up, Labrina. Labrina asked, did she have to beg you to go to therapy? And he said no. Josh, you're lying. Because I think she kept asking you, and I don't think you wanted to go. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, y'all. I think she kept asking him, and I think he kept saying no, and then he finally decided to go. So he said, he was like, well, why would she bring me to counseling and end things with him in front of the cameras? So he said when he moved out, he tried to reach out. He reached out to her to ask her to go on a date, and her response was she would let him know. He said he called her on their anniversary. He wrote her a letter, and she made plans to take the kids to the movies on their anniversary. So you're mad. Why, Josh? Why? You did something to her, and this is her response. And you don't like the way she's responding to you. So now, because she's responding in this way, you decided to come on camera and make the mother of your kids look bad by talking to her friend and her friend husband. Anyway, he said he was X'd out of everything. And Labrina said to Josh, you're not wrong for your side of the story. Will asked him, do you think that there's no coming back from this? Josh said, I can't unsee some things. He said, I'm not the only one in this marriage that did some messed up stuff. Labrina asked, basically, so you wasn't the only person that cheated. And when she asked that, she looked at Josh and she did like this. I could be reaching. Again, production and cameras. I don't know. But I just want to know if y'all peeped that. And his response was no. He said he wasn't the only one that cheated. And I just feel like Josh, you a bitch ass nigga. Like, it feels like this was a little bit of coercion, but it also feels like you wanted to come in and smear this lady's name. This lady has not been on a press tour about you. This woman has not talked about you. We all know Elena. She just seemed like a very private lady. She just kind of X'd you, your photos, and she just moved on with her life. She moving in silent with her life. She already talked about it, but she didn't want to talk about it. But as she was talking about it, you were there with her. You were the one that was deceptive, not her. But for you to do this to her, this is low. This right here is very, very low. I guess Labrina and what's her name? And Elena's gonna have a conversation about this. Elena's tone is just so monotone to me. She's just gonna give monotone all season. But it seemed like this season is really gonna be good, y'all. I don't know how many episodes we're gonna get. I'm assuming we're gonna get 8 like we did last season. I mean, 2, for the first season. So I'm here for it, y'all. I'm almost back on track. I have 2 more videos, but I'm gonna try to give that to y'all tomorrow. But tomorrow y'all will get Girls Need Love. That's the last 2 episodes, 5 and 6. But I'm supposed to be going live over at the Black Girls Den podcast to discuss Divorce Sisters, the last 2, 15 and 16, episodes 15 and 16. So yeah, that's all I got for tonight. This is your girl Kiwan, reminding you to keep showing up, keep growing, stay true to yourself, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.